Hello, welcome to stream. I'm William, this is Will Forge, and today we will forge. Let's see. I'm going to switch over to the correct chat up here so I can see what's happening. And let's get started. Alright, so I haven't been able to get a whole lot done off stream the last couple of days. I think that's become probably apparent to everybody watching. Because every time the stream starts up, I'm in the exact same spot as I was before. Well, not literally standing in the same spot, but I'm doing the exact same thing. And that is the result of a lack of time because of the whole move thing going on. Let's see. I need to build out these lights and start building the column that stretches over the entire thing. And the original map, you know, of course they cut off the polygons that would go through the rock, so mine will technically be more complete because it will go straight over and over to this side. Oh wow, I hadn't even thought of that. It actually does align pretty well. It needs some work with alignment, I think, but we'll see. This also means I can actually thicken up the sides of this because it is supposed to be thicker than that, but we'll see. I actually do need to bring this up over to the top first before I do anything else. Which means we gotta go to 3D model. And I see two people in chat already. And I wonder what happens if I hit linked there. Okay, that is the entire base. A lot of the times what they'll do is Bungie would actually make floating polygons that just like weren't linked together at all, and I thought that might be the case here, but apparently not. And that had something to do with their engine. Was their engine limitations were making them have to you know what, that's interesting. Okay. I'm going to show you something. Okay, we've got this. I get the extrude, right? It's on extrude region. Let's go to extrude. We do want that, but we're going to hit E. And we're going to hit X, I think. No? Y? Oh, this map is rotated. Okay, can we go to... forget how to find that button. We're in edit mode, yeah, normal, X, Y, Z. Trying to see where I'm supposed to do this from. I'm trying to remember. Normals, extrude region, no. Let me make this big so you can see what I'm doing since I'm only down here in the corner. Dun 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 dun. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to do is to show this off, I think. You know what, we'll just stretch it. I don't know why I'm trying to do all this extrusion stuff. I can just stretch it. Global, local, normal. No, none of these are going to get me the angle I need. Oh well, I guess I will just go straight this way. So what I was trying to show was that they're clearly not lined up exactly right from that angle, but I was trying to find out to see if that's actually true before I went and you know, it'd work. Let's just Control Z all that. What we'll do is we'll select all of these. Yeah, I know it's not in Forge and it's a little weird, but we're gonna get there. F for face. We're gonna switch to here. We're gonna switch to extruding that, and then we're gonna extrude all the normals. And that, no, that's not gonna work either. Actually, you know, I just realized it's not flat. Okay, never mind. We just won't worry about all that. Let's just try and look at it and eyeball it. So it does look like maybe it's close to lining up, because they do go like pretty freaking close. I was just looking at it out here and seeing that it kind of appears to not quite line up. Like this one's a little further this way. And that's how my map is looking like it's going to end up being. So I was trying to see if that was true or if I need to adjust mine. It appears to be not quite true. Let's see. I need to get more consistent about my start time. I know that much. But let's see how it goes. Okay. Okay, so what we need is needs to come up. I don't know the exact height, so I think I'm gonna actually have to go into Master Chief Collection for this and go down there and study it a bit. Look at it from below and then look at it from below in Infinite. Try and see what the correct height is. That's pretty close. Now I think that the best bet for building this out, I could use a triangle and avoid clipping issues, or I could do it the way I built this thing out, which is like, you know, sometimes they clip into each other. This one and this one clip into each other, and it looks fine. Because of this metal, this 400 metal is pretty good for doing that kind of thing. Now that is clearly not a 45-degree angle. So let's see, I could figure that out in Blender. We could hop back into Blender for a second, just to figure out what this angle is. And that should help. Boom, 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 boom. That's weird. I don't know why they have some of these cuts in here. They've got like, gosh, 3 extra polygons that don't need to exist on this model here. It's so weird how this map is angled, but I guess it's because the base is angled. Let's see. Okay, this is kind of crooked, but it's 29 degrees. Yeah, it's definitely crooked. Let's see if I can do... I'm gonna go from the side. Make it perfectly flat. Like that. And then hit view. And that'll give me as close to the closest angle to the correct rotation. Can't believe I've never used view before. Like I used to not use it at all. Okay, negative 28 degrees. And that appears to be correct. Let's see if it comes through. Yeah, okay, so we're looking at a 28-degree angle. So if we're doing 28 degrees, and that means I just did 30, so I can just back it up, you know, 1, ooh, what the heck? 1, 2, why is it going so fast? Oh, you know what? I need to turn that on. No, that's the wrong direction. 1, 2, so that should be 28. And that should be an exact angle for what we're looking for. And then in Master Chief Collection, it goes up to... Ooh, let's decide. Let's look at the height from Blender. Because in Blender, I can look at this from a good angle and just say, okay, it's right... Almost, it's like halfway through the roof over there. Maybe from the bottom of the roof, so... It's actually kind of basically in line with the bottom of this edge here. So if I go and duplicate and I go to 45 degrees again. What? Oh no, I want, yeah, object rotation. No, object, there we go. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. I tried to undo a second ago, but I hadn't gotten out of the rotation apparently yet. So, this is the height that I want. So let's go ahead and edit my location. Grab my vertical, copy it. I don't know how I never thought to do this before. This is a great way of doing it. because I can line it up left to right, and I can go in, change the vertical to the exact vertical it was before. And then I can adjust this one's height down to be equal to that. And I can make it basically just roughly eyeball this part, because as long as it's close enough, no one's going to know the difference. This is going to be one of those spots. It doesn't matter if it's truly one-to-one. But yeah, there we go. That doesn't feel right for the length of this piece, and I did feel that this was too tall. So by a little bit. I was saying earlier that it's just about right. So let's bring this down a good bit, so that the inner part is roughly where we were looking at earlier. Okay. Then we'll flip it around, extend it out till roughly around there. Boom. And boom. Now that looks like the correct proportions. Let's go ahead and get in there on the ground level and compare it to Master Chief Collection. Still feels like maybe it should be taller. Honestly feels like the whole thing should be taller. Makes me wonder if I got my my roof right over there. Sure hope so. That whole room was very difficult to build. But like if this room needs to be a little taller, maybe that's what it is. In which case I don't have to match it one-to-one as far as that's concerned, because I can go over the top and yeah. But I can see if I can figure that out, and if it is workable, then I will definitely work that in. It's also possible that the issue is not about height, but about thickness. Like this top one doesn't have to necessarily be this thick. And that might be what it is, because actually, I don't think it is that thick. Yeah, no, it thins out a lot. Oh, it thins out at both pieces. Okay. This bottom column is the thickest part. Let's stream out. Oh yeah, I need to tweak that out, don't I? Yeah, let's grab that. Let's do that. Taking 2 seconds to go make a tweet. Keep saying an estimate for how much we are complete, and there's a possibility that I'm under exaggerating it. Post in Discord too. Unique won't be taking your viewers today because he's over on Stinky YouTube. So I did see that. I did see he was over on Stinky YouTube. I actually commented over there saying it was looking good. Let's see. Discord. Where should I post it? In Uniques, because I feel like maybe that's rude. Does he have a section for that? He might actually have a section for just self-promotion like that. Live stream links. Those are, I think, his live stream links. Or not. Maybe they're anyone's? He goes on YouTube every once in a while, but he doesn't get many viewers over there. Yeah, I think that he's trying to become, he's trying to get, yeah, you know, what do you call it? Not affiliate. What do they call it? Gets maybe 20 tops on YouTube. Yeah, I think he was at 13 whenever I went in there, so I probably brought him to 14, I think. It said 13 viewing, and I clicked it, so I think it went to 14 at that point, but yeah. But what I'm looking for is, where do I post it in the Discord? Is it in his live stream links section? believe it's here. There we go. I made it a silly message. I said, come get wet with me in Waterworks today. Let's see. Now this is the obvious way to shrink this down, is to put it... Oh, nope, not the z-axis as well. Is to bring it down to... right at the... Oh, I need to slow my movement down. There we go. Bring it down to right there. I think? Yes. That way, whenever this is scaled up, the line is a straight line across. And this one can do the exact same thing. Actually, this one needs to go down to a square no matter what the angle is, so let's do that. Right. For half a second, I had a brain fart, as my mother used to call it. That was the wrong direction. What is happening? That was weird. Okay. Okay, so this one, grab, this one, paste. Why is it an equal sign? Did I just do that wrong? No. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Felt weird. Okay, what's going on in chat? Oh, yeah, that's just me. That's just my computer spazzing out with all the stuff I'm changing on screen. Okay, let's see. Or rather, the menu is. Okay, so this is better. I think that this is definitely better proportions. But I think that now it feels like this could go even shorter. And that this could go longer. My precision is being a bit lacking today. Let's see. Yeah, go down to about right there. That should be... Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's see what this proportion is. And compare that to Master Chief Collection. Let's see. Looks good there. Maybe I went too short, but not too much. Goes up there, has a good angle, has a good length. In general, I may have just made this whole column too thick, which would be an obvious one, but an easy one to fix as well. This actually does look to be thicker than the original. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it. And I'm realizing that this is, I believe, let's see, Witcher 3 out tomorrow. Wait, Witcher 3 is coming out tomorrow, or the trailer's coming out tomorrow? I thought it was just being announced or revealed, or like a recent. Was that that was the release trailer, wasn't it? I don't know. I need to keep better track. I need to keep better track of game releases in general. Okay, I think that this is possibly close enough. Definitely supposed to thin out there. But what I am noticing is that I might have made this too thick to begin with. Let's see. Well, midnight. It's tomorrow. Well, midnight local. Gotcha. Okay, I think that maybe we're good with this angle, and if I build it all the way out and it still feels off here and I feel like I could still just fix it, then we'll do that. But there's a new angle defined, and it is different. This is not, I think this is 45. Yes, that's 45. I can recognize a 45-degree angle when I see it. I don't want to just like assume with these things, but with this, in this case, it's definitely 45. Okay, that's not one to. It's not wanting to snap. Gotta bring it in. Man, that budget is definitely gonna manage this all, isn't it? It's gonna allow for it. It's crazy. It's crazy how big this budget is in this forge. Like, insane. Okay, it's not going to magnet. Or snap, I mean. Boom. There we go. So then, we can stretch this out all the way to the other end. That should go through the rock and get to the other part. Which is where it goes at a new angle. Is that back to the 28 degrees over there? This side's much thinner. It stays square. Let's see. Gonna shift D it. Bring it down. Rotate it. Yeah, we're on view still because, well, this one actually might work on a local. Because, no, or sorry, normal, on normals. This one might rotate on normals correctly because it's just 2 polygons. The other one was messing up because of all the polygons I had extra. That's negative 26, it still needs to go again. This one might be 27 degree angle, it looks like. Okay. Well, maybe one more. It might be 28. It's like 27 and a half. So that's cool. Okay. Gonna grab this one because it's shorter. Why are we on object? Or movement. And now we need to rotate on world real quick. And I rotate on object, so I gotta get that back to normal. There we go. Okay, let's see. We're at 45. I'm actually gonna make this flat and then rotate to 40. We could just do 48 again. I'm sure the other one on the other side wasn't exactly 48. Or 28, I mean. Which might be why it doesn't look quite right. Maybe if I bring it to 27, it'll actually look better. So we're at 15. So another 10. And, ooh. I'm going to do this in increments so that I can actually undo it. Let go and then do it again. Because that was 1, 2. Okay, cool. Now we're at a negative 27 degree angle. That's not right. That's supposed to be the other way around. I need to sitting here doing it completely wrong. Needs to be. Now we go to our. Now we get our 27. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, let's okay. Is my thing turned off again? 1, 2. There we go. That's what it was. So now we're at 27. Let's see how that looks. And if it needs to go to 28. Yeah, let's go 28. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay, now, wow, that's almost the right spot. Are you serious? I just grabbed a random length, but it's almost perfect. Wow. So the actual, it's not exactly perfect. I'm gonna grab this one because it's roughly the right length for this. May not snap though, so that would be annoying, but let's see. So I'm not going to snap it to that. I'm actually going to snap it somewhere over here. That's not going to line up correctly, but what I can do is do what I did earlier and find the... Okay, let me see. What's the... local Z? Okay. Should be the Z-axis. No, right. Z is up and down. That couldn't be right. Oh, wait. Am I looking at scale? What am I doing? Size. I'm being dumb. Been looking at scale every other time, so just like... Okay, so we're in objects. So it should be objects. And we're looking at... No, it's going to be different, isn't it? I want to match the X and Y. To get the horizontal location. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. No, it's not going to line up right. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Not doing that. I'm going to do it. See if there's a central snap point that I can go off of from this roof piece. Okay, it's yeah, we're gonna fix this. If we fix this scale, let's see. Grab the 18.55 and switch it with, I believe, this one, the 3.55. Confirm. That looks right. Then we gotta back out, go to something else, then go back to it. Nope, that's not what I'm selecting. Don't know what you're doing. Okay. That one, please. Like, I was clearly not pointing at that piece. And it's just like wanting to, really badly wanting to, did I do it wrong? No, I did it right. And I just gotta rotate it. I believe that's right. Yeah, now I've got a central piece. And I can snap it to there. Nope. Oh, what am I doing? I want object movement again. That's what's messing me up. Okay, so this should be centered at this point. Nope, don't turn that on. Which means that if this piece is going to be centered here... Oh, come on. What? I went through all this trouble to give me that bottom. Okay, I think it's because I'm too short. I'm too tall, I mean. There we go. Now this needs to be lined up with this, and the whole thing needs to shift over as a result. So now, what I'm going to do is, I don't want to move it down or out of the way. Hard to say what I should do here. Okay, I got an idea. Let's see if I can put one of these here. And then, let's see. Okay, where's my location here? Do I have an easy, like I'm in world. If I go to local, will that change what these coordinates are? No, it's all world. I was hoping that you could switch to local or world with your position, your actual coordinates here. Okay. Basically, I just want to select all this and snap it to there, but I don't want to mess up what it looks like on this end. So, in relation to the rest of the map. But I think I'm going to have to make it line up. Okay. And then just hold it for a second and release. And then just fix it over here to be closer by grabbing these pieces and dragging them closer. Oof, that's annoying. I gotta start with this piece. Oh, deselect all got broken. There we go. There we go. Now my z-axis is going to be... I mean, not my z-axis, my entire axis will be aligned correctly with this. Okay, now I need to get a little bit closer to see this a little better. Twitter, Hogwarts Legacy status. I need to click on that for a second. Is that a, what is that? Is that the game? I think that's the, there's a Harry Potter game that I wasn't actually, fully, like, knowledgeable about, but I know that there is one that, like, it's just coming out, right? So, is that what that is? There's a lot of glancing knowledge of new games coming out, but not a whole lot of actual knowledge of all of them. It's funny because once upon a time, back in the Blockbuster days, I would literally rent I went through every single game at Blockbuster for about 5 years and beat every single one of them and brought it back. Now, a Final Fantasy game could be announced and I wouldn't know it existed for, like, 6 months. I did see the one at the awards, but I didn't know it existed until the awards, so if everybody else knew that it was coming... I mean, I knew that they were going to make a new one, obviously. They're always going to make a new one. But, I didn't really know it existed. Hogwarts Legacy will launch on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC on February 10th, 2023, with a 72-hour early access beginning on February 7th, 2023. Okay. Interesting. And this one is... Which one is Hogwarts Legacy? Is that looks really good, actually, in that picture. Is that actually what it's gonna look like, or is this just like promotional images? You have to tell me what you think, Aaron, because I haven't seen any of the footage of it yet. So now we have this structure, and we gotta add some lights into it, because this isn't actually a solid piece. It's gonna be multiple pieces with lights built in. This kind of looks like it's correct as far as the height and everything goes. Yeah, that looks like it got it. It might be that it's supposed to be a little taller, but I don't think so. I think it's right. Actually, maybe, because this piece should be a lot longer looking. In which case, I'd have to either elongate this piece. Actually, you know what I could do? I can look at where these pieces meet and line it up over here. Oop, not Shift W. Alt Tab. Okay, so... Yeah, see, this area right here. Here, I'll actually select the line. See that? It puts that little gizmo on top of it. That's what they usually call it, a gizmo. Keep on using the wrong terms. It's the open world Harry Potter themed game. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that looks really cool. Is it... I didn't get to look at a lot of the trailers, but I remember that it looks really cool. What do you think about it? Because you would be more knowledgeable about it than I am. I want to hear your thoughts, as they say. Let's see, this line right here should line up with about the middle of the ramp. So this is definitely too short. That's what I just figured out. That's the reason if I sound a little distracted there is because I was also figuring this out at the same time. Let's see. And that is still not lined up right. This will probably get us all looking right over here as well. I'll be getting it, but probably not on launch. Set a few hundred years before Harry Potter itself. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's risky to get any video games at launch these days. I say, while playing Halo Infinite. And having done so since launch. That's about in the middle. It is supposed to be just shy of the middle like this, so this might be the correct spot. And now I think that I can actually scale this up and scale that back down a little bit there, because this is supposed to be... This felt like it was a little too short too, and then now it feels like it's really short. Actually, that won't change its horizontal. It'll just change its vertical. Okay. Much better. And actually, that makes this line up with the top of here. So it's possible my roof in here is not quite the right height. And that I'll have to scale up these triangles and then raise the roof just a bit. But, I don't know if that's necessary. What I might do is place the what do you call it, the wasp in there, and see if I can easily fly out of there with the wasp, which it's got such good handling, it probably will. And I'll see if the cameras all freak out and stuff. But yeah, I know PlayStation has exclusive stuff like a mission and whatnot. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. Let's see, hold on. Oh, nope, that's not right. They definitely are doing a lot of PlayStation exclusive stuff for a company that does not want Microsoft to own Activision due to all of the exclusive content they'd be getting. That's my take on PlayStation right now. Is that yes, my wife works for them and they're really cool, and yes, they're a really good employee to work for, or employer to work for, and yes, the you know, the God of War came out really good and like bug free, but I'm just a little leery of their need to you know, to argue with Microsoft for doing what they do all the time. Okay, so this might be getting in the way, but it's also probable that it was just that I needed to deselect and reselect this one. And that one should be the magnet point now. Here we go. And then this one, it's gonna be sort of lined up correctly there, I think. I might need to lengthen this piece. Which was the whole point of lengthening over here, was because I felt like this piece was too short, so that makes sense. I was a PlayStation main about 3 months ago until I swapped back to Xbox. And the PlayStation has exclusive stuff like a mission one. Yeah. Yes, I know a lot of people that were PlayStation mains. My older brother, my step brother, who's 1 month younger than me. My like, I don't know, there's a lot, my cousins, a lot of them are PlayStation mains. I just I always, honestly, I'm a Nintendo main. But Halo, I'm a Nintendo and Halo main is my thing, really. I don't go out of my way to play a whole lot of Microsoft games. I'm mostly, like, I don't do like Forza or any of that. I'm pretty sure they own that. I don't do any of that. I just play Halo and I play Nintendo games, pretty much. Okay, hold on. We're gonna undo that. I think I just found a way. If you're ever having to have this scaling problem, it just occurred to me, finally a solution to this. If I make... Nope, it's not a solution. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Cool. And then you deselect this one. Let's see. Select that one, then select this one, and then you've got a snapping point, correct? And you can use this little one's snapping points, which are perfectly aligned with the bigger one's snapping points, and get yourself a good position. That's assuming this is correct. Let's see, doorway to mid, yeah, and slightly to the right of it, yeah. Let's see, I mainly swap because Xbox has better support for back compatibility games with FPS boost and whatnot, and I get more uses out of Game Pass than I would PS Plus. Yeah, that's a good reason. I pick the one that has the most exclusive games that I actually want to play. So I get an Xbox and I get a Nintendo console, and that usually involves, because Legend of Zelda is up there with Halo as my top game to play, and then Metroid Prime as well. but that hasn't had a new entry in forever. I do want to get Metroid Dread, but I never actually got around to it. I don't know if it's side-scrolling Metroids are not my cup of tea typically, so I'm leery on that. Oh, this piece actually gets thinner. It's my reminder that it's 11 o'clock and that I need to get the kids up soon. Let's see, because we've got stuff to do. I think that this needs to go thinner until it matches. No, I can't match that corner. That's insanely thin. Oh, I can match this corner. I think that's what they want. What it kind of is demanding me do. But actually, this corner, the inner corner and the outer corner don't match up on the original. So I would need to flip it over. It's like I just started streaming and I'm already getting my alarm clock going off, telling me to turn it off, it seems. So it started so late today. So this is down here. Okay. It's flush with the roof. And then it's got like a triangle piece there, which I'm gonna grab from here. I'll grab this one. Because it's not a right angle, so I'll need to go finding a right angle. There we go. It's got a bit of a triangle piece here. And it goes all the way over to here. Man, pretty soon, I think it's going to be this weekend, is whenever we move the bulk of our stuff over. And that's going to be like our beds and stuff, but it's also going to be our computers. That's whenever you're going to see suddenly everything in the room is going to be different behind me. Wall's going to be a different color, everything. Let's see. I get more uses out of Game Pass. Oh, mainly swept because Xbox has better support for back compat. Yeah, you said that. And Game Pass. Also, since I'm a fan of Skyrim, I wouldn't be able to play Bethesda games on PlayStation 5 anymore. That's true. Yeah, that's a major... Like, I love Elder Scrolls games. I've only beaten Morrowind. I've never beaten Oblivion or Skyrim, even though I played all of them. I didn't play Morrowind at launch, but I played the other two at launch. And because I'm old. Basically, yeah. Oop. It's those are great. I've only played Skyrim. Well, okay, so here's my take on it. So if you want a more so Skyrim is the most action-oriented version. And that's, you know, obviously, if you're looking for action game like Legend of Zelda or Dark Souls or something like that, obviously it's not like a hardcore game like Dark Souls, but it's more RP based. But basically, yeah. Tried Oblivion and felt like poo-poo, so uninstalled it. Yeah, basically, so Oblivion is like a weird halfway point between Morrowind and Skyrim. Okay, this is not working the way I wanted to. Oh, right, this is where I thin it out. This is the whole point of this, was to find out where I need to thin it. To. Because I needed to thin it. Okay, so this should be there. Okay. Now, so anyway, to me, basically, Oblivion feels like a weird halfway point between Skyrim and Morrowind, and because Morrowind was at the time it was the super actiony version of Morrowind, because Morrowind is kind of weird in that it's live, it's like action. You know, it's not exactly an action game, because even though it's real time, like whenever you shoot a bow at somebody, you shoot a bow at them, you have to aim your arrow. The arrow flies to the air like a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter. It hits, and then it either pops up with your damage if you have it turned on to show the damage, or it pops up with a text that says missed. Your arrow could hit them square in the forehead, it could hit them right in the chest, and it might say missed. because it's got so much RPG elements to it, so many RPG elements to it, where like your dexterity actually determines your ability to quote unquote dodge, and it's really weird coming from the fact that it's so like, you know, live. It's so real time, and then they threw in this weird little element there that just like doesn't make any sense. You know, mechanically it just doesn't make any sense to do that. So that is a point of like, at first, if you go to play it after having played Skyrim originally, you're gonna probably hate that. But and I actually hate it even looking back on it. I hated it back then. I was like, what do you mean I missed? Doesn't make any sense, because I was a Zelda fan, so of course if I shoot something it should hit it. And that goes back to the original Zelda, top-down 2D Zelda game. If you shoot something with the arrow, it hits. You know? Skyrim was also my first introduction to Elder Scrolls itself back in 2010 at Christmas. Yeah, so like you hadn't even seen like trailers for it, basically, is what you're saying? Like you didn't know anything about Elder Scrolls until you played it? Until you popped in the disc and went, whoa, what is this? Or well, obviously the box art, but don't know if that really counts as first. I guess that is your first impression, really, but still. Okay, so this side's got Z fighting, the other side had just the problem was that it was just on top. So we want that to be on top. That way our line is cleaner. Up here, the line can't really be clean, but we definitely want it to be consistent on both sides. So actually I might need to rescale that bottom column one more time. You know what? I should be scaling... Really? Okay. We're gonna reset. Switch to this. Rotate. No, not 45. It's this weird angle. And then... doop. There we go. That should fix that. Oh, great. I hadn't done all of it. Okay. We're gonna get the width here. Sorry, I see you're saying something, but I'm gonna get back to you in a second because just got frustrated with this thing. I don't wanna talk to you while I'm frustrated with this thing, because that would be rude. Because then I might be frustrated in what I'm saying to you. Let's see. Okay, I tried Oblivion. It felt like poo-poo, so I installed it. So it's like 4K 60 on Series X, but it just doesn't feel good to play at all. Skyrim was also my first introduction to ES itself back in 2011 at Christmas. Nope, I just thought it looked cool from a YouTube playthrough. Someone at school said I wouldn't like it, and now it's in my top 5 games of all time, so checkmate school person. Yeah, anyone who looks at Skyrim and says they won't like it, I think is wrong. I think objectively it's an extremely good game, and anybody would enjoy it. Okay, I undid scaling and stuff like that, and readjusted it, and yet somehow it's not Z-fighting over here anymore, and it's correct over here, but also, like, perfectly smooth. And I don't know what I did, but that's not right. Anyway, I'm going to scale down this piece to solve this issue, not scale up that piece, because I realized that that piece needs to match this one's width and that one's width, and I don't want to have to rescale those pieces. So this one's going to be the one that's going to be scaled down by 1 point, 1 click, on probably each side, because I do need to scale down over here to continue. Or I could scale this one up, because these are going to be like the ones where you can't really scrutinize them too closely. There we go. Now that'll match there and there. And, let's see. We're going to go ahead and tick that one down 1. Oh no, that causes Z-fighting. But why didn't it tick back up? I hit undo. Sometimes I feel like this is, like there's a weird server issue that causes some of these weird abnormalities. Why is it Z-fighting over here with itself? That's so weird. I guess it's not real Z-fighting, it's just weird adjustments there, but I don't know. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he didn't say anything. Okay, I was just trying to see. Okay. Basically, though, yeah, so what I was saying was that if you go try Morrowind, give it an honest try, but definitely go in knowing that there's some weird anomalies like that. But the good things about Morrowind is that it takes you, it treats you more as an adult. And what I mean by that is it doesn't, there's no compass at the top that tells you exactly where to go. Like the little indicator. It makes sure, it gives you the directions, it tells you where to go, and it will even give you a journal entry as if your character has written it down. But you don't get to just, you know, well, it blends perfectly over here without Z fighting or anything. But over here it's like, it's weird looking. But anyway. So basically, yeah, it treats you like an actual adult. You know what I mean? Like you, even if you're not an adult, like, I mean, when I played it, I was 12, so 11. Anyway, originally, I've beaten it since then, again, but yeah. I always play unmodded as I want the creator's intent, not counting Anniversary Edition content. Yeah, I do, with Morrowind, I do the Game of the Year edition, which has all of the DLC added to it, because it had a bunch of downloadable content, and basically, so I do that version, but it is basically, like you say, it's just basically like a Game of the Year edition. Okay, so this width is actually correct, and these two side pieces are actually close to correct. They do clip a little bit on the inside, but I can like slightly scale them down and make them look nice, and put the light in the middle. Or I can even leave them where the middle one is a little bit thinner. But like, if I wanted to, I could scale this all a little bit thinner. Especially if this turned out to be wrong. Oh, I never adjusted for the height. That's fine, because I can just like adjust this and this down, and then adjust that things, like scale that piece down like that. Whenever I did that big movement of all of it, I never brought this back down to line up there. Oh wait, does it do that? Or does it actually not do that? No, you gotta jump up to it. I gotta go the other way. Oh, okay. That might be a bit of an issue, actually. It's gotta go like right there. Because what I realized, that's not how you move. Is I adjusted the height of this piece based on where that was located before, and that adjusted the length of this piece, and all of that. And I think even the height of everything else. But anyway, let's see. But yes, I also usually do unmodded. I think that, like especially with Skyrim, I think I modded something about Oblivion or something. I think I did. Whenever I played it most recently. But thinking back, I can't remember what it was, and I may not have actually done it. But I did play the, I did play Morrowind unmodded. For sure. And did Game of the Year edition. Yeah, that's definitely not the right height anymore because of all that. Okay, so definitely, and yet this is like the correct length. So I wonder if the whole thing doesn't need to get higher, but then that would mean that would be well above the roof here. Don't know what's going on with that. Let me look at the hallway in here. It's kind of late game to be checking out this hallway's slope. Doesn't go as high. Boy, howdy, as they say. I'm back. I don't know what you said for the past 2 minutes. Oh, I was saying that I also usually play unmodded. Morrowind I played unmodded for sure. I think I may have modded Oblivion. Look at that. Well, it's not that much higher, but it is higher. Anyway, it looks like my entire hangar bay is, wait, what am I doing? I'm supposed to go into fly. My entire hangar bay, this entire section is too low. Let's see if it's too low down here. But yeah, so basically, no. Oh wait, that's right. Let's see if this height, let me explain over here. If this piece is too short, which it does appear to be, that I scaled all of this. I scaled this off of the ground, and then did the slopes correctly for the width, and then I went to this piece. And if this piece needs to be taller, then that means, yeah, the whole thing is off. Okay, well, I'm glad I prefabbed like most of this room because that'll be really easy to select. And we're gonna have to move this entire room up by just a bit, which doesn't make any sense. How am I supposed to... Wait, whoa. Before I go doing that, this slope was correct to the 3D model in Blender, which means that there's no way. Well, I mean, like, if the slope is the same for the is built for the 3D, is like accurate to the 3D model. Before I go moving everything, let's make sure of this because I don't want to. Let's get these two doors the same. I know I was in the middle of saying something about Elder Scrolls, but okay, the doorway is like this. Then we're looking at. Okay, they're a lot more close than I thought. I don't know that that actually needs to be moved at all. I was looking at the edit at the wrong angle or something. These are actually accurate. Okay, that's better. That makes me feel a lot better. Okay. Let's see. Leave it. Nobody will know. Exactly. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, same. This is the one place that people might notice because it's actually, you know, they might notice and feel like this is too short, too stubby because of this, because you actually see it. It's in your peripheral. But people won't notice it too much up here. So if I go too high with that piece, I don't think it's a problem. Like if I make this whole thing higher, then I don't think it'll be an issue. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'll do. I think you're right. Like approved mods integrated into a release is fine, like Skyrim CC content, Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition, and so on. Yeah. Exactly. I think you're right, by the way, Shibuti. I think it's definitely too risky to do all of that extra work. Not that that's how you put it, but that's how I'm putting it. So I'm going to go up like that much farther, and that should be enough, but we're going to find out. This is going to be interesting, because this shouldn't move up farther. Which means I'm going to have to readjust how these two meet. I'm going to readjust it here, actually, because this might be able to be longer. And this side looks about right for now. Let's see. Anyway, let's turn that piece off and back on, and then do magnets here. And no, right? Not 1-to-1. Unacceptable. That's exactly how I feel. Oh, that's going to make it shorter, not longer. Okay, so I do want this to be up there. Oh no! Okay. I don't know if I can undo all of those movements. Okay. The previously discovered with the same piece new technique is about to come in handy again. This piece needs to go here. Nope. Needs to go there. There we go. And then it needs to be the second one I select. Nope. Okay, which angle is going to be... There we go. Correct. Here we go, and snap. And then select it again. We can delete it. And then I just need to adjust the... I guess this is going to be a longer piece over here than before. Which might mean I want to adjust this little piece to be less short, because it'll look a little better if the proportions will look more correct if that is a little bit higher. Okay, I think I need to go up with this one to like there. Wait, no, there's no way. No, what am I doing? I need to go up until it's the same height as that one, and then I can stretch it back out. I just went too far back. Ooh, wow, that was almost perfect. Let's see, I do need to go to my 0.001 increment though. And yeah. There we go, one back. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're gonna call this perfect. Okay, mass moves are just scary. You think it's okay, and then everything is pitched and yawed, and the next time you load it up, yeah, exactly. What was always bothering me, and the reason I started locking sections like this, was whenever you switch between mouse and keyboard, you can sometimes accidentally select a random piece in the background. And it was happening with these structures, and then I locked them, and then it stopped happening for the rest of the time. And I don't know if I stopped doing the same, like, sequence of moves, of, like, you know, actions to cause it, or if it actually just randomly stopped happening. And it's kind of disconcerting in a way, because I'm like, it's any point I might accidentally do the correct moves again to screw that up, and I won't know until it's too late, because I'll have moved some random piece back there. And the worst part is that now I've got everything prefabbed, so maybe I should start locking some of these other things up, because if I select this prefab and accidentally move it, the whole thing is shifted off. And not all of the bridge is like 4 different prefabs, or maybe even 5 or 6 at this point. But anyway. Okay, back to the building, and I can also finish what I was saying about Elder Scrolls, if I can remember what I was even saying. Okay, so yeah, this is now lining up with like the top of this piece now, it looks like. I'm kind of going up and down a bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit higher, but it's kind of lined up with the top of this. If I need to make this taller, I can raise the roof a little bit. But I'll wait and to see. I'll just place a falcon in there. I mean, a wasp right now. Let's see. Where is that? Gameplay vehicles. Yeah, vehicles. Wasp. The reason I want to put... Why is it off center? Okay, that's weird. What the heck? Okay, reset your rotation. The reason the controller has slight drift and I was accidentally rotating pieces. Oh, jeez. That's awful. I've gone through way more Xbox controllers in the last year than I ought to. Than I should have. And I blame Microsoft. I do not accept any of the blame myself. Wait, you gotta be able to get to the cockpit with this one. It's actually gotta be a little bit recessed. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. I just realized, because I wanted to put a vehicle spawning pad that could be a wasp or could be a banshee. And not in the 1-to-1 version that's just gonna spawn only a banshee and not even use a vehicle pad. But in my updated version, I wanted to make it to where it could be either one. And I don't know if it's gonna be a problem that you have to go up to the door, like to the cockpit. Let me actually build this out. So it's ooh, forgot about the hole. Almost jumped right into the abyss. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So yeah, the slight drift. Mine did that too, where it would like I had to like wiggle the joystick and then go. Or no, it wasn't that. It wasn't drift. It was that my forward. It stopped going forward correctly. I'd hold down forward and it wouldn't move, and then I had to wiggle my joystick left and right. Like, you know, like watch like this. I'd go. Wait, that was kind of some lag. I go wiggle like that, and that would sort of like fix. That would make it go to full speed. But otherwise, it'd be like moving forward like this, and I'd wiggle, and then it would start going full speed. And it was really annoying, and I've been through, I think, 3 Xbox controllers total, because 2 of them have done that. Okay, so yeah, there's no problem with going in and out, and the camera doesn't freak out, because it's got a great camera in this game that collides with things. Okay, maybe it does freak out a little bit. And then you can get out. I was saying about the camera. Anyway, even modded playthroughs of games I don't like watching. Yeah, especially of I don't know. I think it's funny to see things like the bear mod in Skyrim where all the bears just say "I'm a bear" instead of roaring. I think that's hilarious, and I think that the likewise the you know, the Macho Man Randy Savage dragons are hilarious. But I can watch like a 5-minute or maybe just 2-minute video showing off that mod and be just completely satisfied with what I've seen and not have to ever play the game like that, or watch the video again maybe one other time to show a friend or something like that, and that's it, and then I'm done. But yeah, I don't know, the whole so I'm with you. I don't really mod that much at all. Microsoft king of the bad joysticks. If there's one thing they do wrong, it's joysticks. Yeah, and I think that's the reason why, which Halo YouTuber, I believe, maybe it's someone else, but I think it's a Halo YouTuber, is advertising controller right now with the joysticks that come out, and you can replace them, and the joysticks are supposed to be like super cheap. So if they go out, then you can just pop them in. That's what Microsoft needs to do. Like, I know they do that with their Pro controller, but they need to do that all the time because their current situation is not working. Oh, that spawned it really far away. There we go, and now gonna go ahead and drag this in. And then get myself a good spot to start the lights at. Okay, based on my width, to get the lights in the correct locations, I might have made mine a little too wide, which might explain why all the lengths are so hard to get right, with it being so tall and everything. Maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe my column is too wide. Because over here, it is clipping into these. And if it was thinner this way, then I'd also have to make it thinner this way to make it square. And that would end up making all of the lengths feel longer. That would also make these lights feel more like they're going to fit easier. Because I'm looking at them right now and I'm like, okay, if I've got one here that is wider than it is, you know, it's thinner here than it is long, then it's going to end here. And then I need a gap between them, and then another one, and then now I'm getting way too close to this edge. So to go with the width of this, it's totally wrong. Macho Man Dragon, I didn't know I needed that in my life. Yeah, it's so good. Did you know? Have you seen it? Or are you saying you haven't even seen it? Because if you haven't seen it, you should go watch that mod. It's hilarious. It's like, it's just the beginning of the game when the first dragon shows up, and then later on, and then they show another video, like another clip of it later on with the first dragon you actually fight. And it's just great. But that's the only video I've... That's it. I don't need to actually play it. So I think I do need to thin all of these out. And I think what I'm going to do that is make sure individually that they're rotated to the correct angle. Like this one and that one are different angles. So if I... No. Go to this. By the way, if you're on PC... I have good news. The undo button on here works a lot better and more consistent and without freaking everything out if you use Control-Z instead of using the controller's version. Macho Man Drag. Oh, is he? I'm going to watch it. It sounds awesome. It is. They also have a Thomas the Tank Engine one. But anyway, like Aaron was saying, though, is that, like, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's like, I watch it. I don't want it in my game. But yeah, no, it is really funny though. It's hilarious. There's also a Thomas the Tank Engine one, obviously. I think everybody knows that one, where the dragons are all Thomas the Tank Engine flying around, and like, but then like somehow it's not just the dragons. That there's suddenly like 30 freaking Thomas the Tank Engines flying through the sky, and it's like, it was a really hilarious little video. But it's not, you know, again, not wanting that in my mod though, in my game though. Just put that in the video and let me go enjoy it there. So I'm bringing it down by exactly 0.5. That way, and I'm making, oh, I haven't made sure this one actually lines up. Let's see. Nope, it does not. There we go. It's got to scale down from the correct direction, or else I'll have to realign it, and I already set the thickness of the pieces, so I don't want to have to... This also means I can go through and, again, a second time through, and scale down the other direction by exactly 0.5. These are not actually square. I hope this is actually angled correctly, because I haven't checked. What just happened? Nope, I did it wrong. Really? It's just not going to do any... Okay, well, at least it was exactly 0.5, so... I can go like this. You have to hit backspace twice to erase. It's really weird. Okay, and then this one... Let's see. You can't undo a prefab move on Xbox at all. Can you undo prefab moves on PC? To an extent. I don't think I've actually used the Control-Z, like I was just saying, for that, to try it. We could save, and I could try to do that with, like, that prefab with all those pieces, and see if it works. Because that would be really good, like, you know, stress test on that. It didn't work. We would know real quick. But I would definitely want to save that before, save it off before I do that, because that would be spooky. What's that guy on YouTube who does the art tutorials? It's always like spooky. This is real spooky. I'll have to figure out his name so I can talk about him on here because he's hilarious. Ah, I didn't rotate it. Okay. Oh, right. I gotta get out, select something else, then select it again. What the heck? Selection is totally broken on mouse right now. I don't know what I did. This is one of the reasons why I kind of... Like, I don't know if any of this happens if you're not switching back between mouse and keyboard controls. I suspect it doesn't. But do you ever have, like, deselect all, just stop working? Let's see. You can, it just ruins the prefab every single time. Oh, yeah, yeah, like you press it, you can press it, but it's not going to work. Oh, this is all centered over here. Oh, I can yeah, now I can adjust it. As long as it's all lined up with each other, I can select it all and, you know, magnet it to that middle piece again, like I did earlier. Okay, that'll work. Thought for a second that I was putting a lot of extra work on my plate, but nope, it's gonna work out. One. What did I just do? Which direction did I just change? I'm confused. Oh, I have two pieces inside of each other? I'm still confused because they appear to be the same. What's happening here? Okay, I think... this is just very confusing. I don't understand what's happening here. What did I change? Didn't change anything on this piece. Okay, what are these two pieces? I don't think I need this piece. It was just here to make something like snap correctly. This piece is way wider than it's supposed to be. Apparently, I didn't rescale it. And also didn't change here. And the other one didn't change either. Did I just put 6 back in its place? You probably saw. I bet you saw exactly what I did wrong. No, it's popping in and then going right back out. What? Okay. Confirm. Okay, there we go. Let's see. The select all thing is just server issues, I believe. I do bounce between mouse and keyboard and controller though, so I don't know. It just run. Okay. So if I switch between... Oh, okay, I don't think it's a server thing. I think it has to do with mouse and keyboard. Because it seems to happen very consistently with when I, like, select... Like, if I go in here, I can't tell exactly when it happens, but it has something to do with, like, going in and changing stuff and coming out, and then, like, going into, like, movement. That's not snap, please. Going into movement and moving something, and then, like, getting out and, like, deselecting and, like, going back to mouse and keyboard and stuff like that. Like, that didn't do it, but there's something about that that makes it just suddenly break, and I'm not entirely certain what it is. It happens very consistently with the move. With trying to move with the mouse and keyboard. So I feel like there's something weird there. And I think it's causing it, but I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. Let's see. I really don't even use my mouse and keyboard, just accidentally bump the mouse here and there. Yeah. I know how you feel whenever I'm in whenever I'm actually playing the game. Okay, this is actually supposed to be all the way out here, and I didn't realize that before, and I just saw that. I just looked at it on here, in Infinite, and I was like, oh wait, that doesn't look right. And then suddenly I realized that I actually need to fix this, which means it's actually a case where I do need to use mouse and keyboard. Get this back here, make it line up. It also means I need to bring it down so that it... No. Control Z. Okay. How far back, though? Should be almost to here, and I think that's what I've got it now. That's why I don't like mouse and keyboard controls, is I prefer a joystick that can allow me to... Like, this is truly awful. And, like, you know, I've always been of the opinion that joysticks work way better. Even whenever I was a little kid, I was always like, I want to get a joystick for our computer. To my dad, I'd always be like, listen, I want a joystick. And he was like, why? And I was like, because they bring joy. He was like, that's not a reason. I was like, that's also a joke. And I literally would just, I didn't have that good comeback of that's also a joke. But I did say that's not the, I mean, I did actually say because they bring joy. And it was a joke. He just didn't understand. We eventually got one though, and it was garbage. It was a terrible one from before the Xbox controllers existed. So of course it was going to be terrible. Like, they released the Xbox controllers before the original Xbox, and it was before that. So, okay, this is definitely, I'm going to have to pick a height and not go off of where it is on the roof, because that height was totally wrong. And I think he might have said something in chat. I'm going to get to it in just a second. Sort of trying to get this right before I look away. Let's see. Okay. That looks pretty good. I have an overlap on that lip. I do. I'll just flip this around and make it a little bit wider, because that should work just fine. Okay, there we go. Alright, so he said, okay, the select all thing, I really don't even use mouse and keyboard. Moving with mouse and keyboard in Forge feels like roller skating through sand. Yeah, so I just don't do that. Let's turn down the rust here, because it looks really bad. That's why I'm constantly switching to controller. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm moving with the controller. I'm not gonna... I was watching Unique do it with the mouse and keyboard, and I was watching him do it, and I was like, how does he even manage it? That's all I could think, like, the whole time I was watching his stream, like, how does he even manage to do mouse and keyboard? It looks so... I mean, it's so hard to do with the movement. It's so inaccurate. And I understand that the mouse is way more accurate than a joystick, but come on. I think it's great that in, I think it's Master Chief Collection. Master Chief Collection, you can hold a controller in your left hand and use a mouse in your right hand. I think it's Master Chief Collection. It might be Infinite. I don't remember. But you could be like this, and then have your, like, you could be doing that. Yeah, no, it's not working in this. Oh, actually, no, it is. You can do joystick in left hand and then mouse in the right hand, and have absolute fluid and fluid controls and precision. And this would be probably the best way to play the game, and the most effective, especially now that mouse and keyboard has aim assist, because, or well, not aim assist, but the things it has that they've added, whatever the specifics they added, because that would be, yeah. And that's actually the reason why Metroid Prime trilogy to me has always been the Metroid Prime 3, and then the trilogy, which retroactively added the controls from 3 into the earlier games. He's wild. It actually makes me sick how easy he makes it look. Yeah. So basically, like, if I was going to use mouse and keyboard, I would want it to work exactly like Blender. If it worked exactly like Blender, I feel like I'd be really fast at this. But yeah, it doesn't. I think that whenever I was talking about that height here, I think the problem is actually that these are wrong. Maybe these slopes need to be a little bit smaller. Or maybe they're not even actually 90 degrees. And also need to put a flag here. But anyway, I was in the middle of saying something about, what do you call it? Metroid Prime. So Metroid Prime Trilogy has the best console controls ever made, because it uses motion controls. And those motion controls are enough to make it, like, the best. Okay, so now my lamps won't be as wide this way, so their length will be more accurate to the length of this piece, and it should work out a lot better. But yeah, So basically, the Metroid Prime trilogy controls, the third one especially, after the update, are amazing. They don't have the same problem as Red Steel, where they were, early motion controls and therefore janky. And instead, they get the precision of mouse and keyboard with the precision of a joystick. Because you're pointing at the screen, and you end up having the precision of the mouse with the same kind of wrist movement. You just do this. You're not having to move your whole arm like some people do while they're playing the game. Instead, you've got that going on, and then you have that precision, and then you also have the, what do you call it? The precision of the joystick. And then on top of that, you have Dark Souls and Legend of Zelda style, you lock onto your enemy, and then you can dodge, roll, and jump and dash and stuff like that to the sides. And I've always said with Halo 4 that so like a third of the development team, according to early interviews, a third of the Halo 4 development team were made up of people from the Metroid team. And what happened with 4, from what I can tell, I thought those were going to be identical, so I was like making them early. And now I'm realizing they're not identical, so it doesn't matter. What happened with Metroid Prime 4, or what happened with Halo 4, was that team came in after Metroid Prime 3, and they made Prometheans. People hate Prometheans because they don't mesh well with the controls of Halo. They don't mesh well with Halo at all. Prometheans play exactly like Space Pirates from Metroid Prime, like identical. They've got the blade on their arm. They've got the gun built into their arm. They dash around. They teleport around. They stand completely still and shoot at you, and then walk slowly to the side, like literally identical to the Space Pirates from the Metroid Prime series. And in Metroid Prime, they're fantastic. They work great, and the game is really fun because they exist and because of the way their AI works. In Halo, it doesn't work because you can't lock on. If Master Chief could lock on in Halo 4, then it doesn't matter that they teleported or that they're dashing. Like whenever they dash at you and they do that zigzag dash at you in Metroid Prime, that breaks your lock, and so it makes it feel like they're getting out of your lock. Like it feels right for them to do that because it's like an actual mechanical behavior. And I think some of them that dash slower, your lock remains locked onto them, or in some of the games. In one of the games, you just remain locked onto them. And so it doesn't matter that they're dashing, you're locked onto them. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. GoldenEye 64 was the last good shooter on a Nintendo console, and it was overrated. No, it wasn't. Metroid Prime was amazing. And Metroid Prime was literally, if you went, I don't know if you knew about, have you ever seen Game Rankings? I disagree with you, basically is what I'm saying. Did you ever see the website GameRankings.com? Because it got bought by Metacritic and then shut down. But while it was up, what it did was Metacritic only took they took critical reviews of games that were more recent and didn't have older games on it. And I think they may have changed that recently. But anyway, they eventually just like your game was just like removed. Like older games just didn't exist unless they were the best in the top 10 of a console. But anyway, the point is that Game Rankings allowed you to compare with a chart the rankings, the ratings of all the games. And Metroid Prime was the top first-person shooter of all time. It was literally ranked due to all of the reviews as the top first-person shooter of all time on there for a very long time. Beat Half-Life. It beat Halo 1. It was just ranked on there as the best. And it had almost a perfect 100 score out of all of the people who rated it because of how good it was. But it also had really shitty, like, one joystick looking around controls. So I disagree with them on that a little bit. And I feel like Halo is actually a little better. But at the same time, I don't disagree that it's an amazing game. And I think that Yeah. So that's why I disagree with you. But yeah. The point is though that yeah, Metroid Prime was the controls for that were trilogy were top notch, and I really think that I hope Metroid Prime 4 has at least Splatoon controls, because there's a reason that game just won an award at the thing and beat out his top multiplayer experience, I think, for the year. Like, I want to say that's what it won because of its controls as well, probably. Let me correct myself. First-person shooter games don't play well on Nintendo like Metroid on a different console would be. I mean, yeah, but without the motion controls, it wouldn't be Metroid Prime Trilogy's better controls. And that's only on a Nintendo controller, or console. So, I don't think that's true either. I would think that, like, if you can't... I don't need this piece. Oh, look at that. I just delete this. Yeah, and snap all this to there. So I think that while the graphics definitely suffer, and I think that somehow the Metroid Prime team did manage to make like amazing graphics for their time. Like it's a GameCube game, and it looks like a freaking Xbox 360 game. And then the one on Wii looks like a, well, kind of like a PlayStation 4 game or PlayStation 5 game. I mean, not 4. 5, sorry, 3, a PlayStation 3 game. Not a 360, better than 360, but not by much. And it's amazing that they pulled that off on the Wii. Like, the GameCube matched, like, 360 graphics almost. The anniversary, like, not anniversary version, they don't call it that. The Prime Trilogy, like, update for Metroid Prime 3 wasn't enough to, it, like, didn't do anything to its graphics except for up the resolution of the output of the video, and that one thing made it like match 360 games, like go toe to toe with 360 games, which was crazy. Also never played Metroid, so my opinion is invalid. I do have a Switch again. Maybe I'll dabble with it. Yeah, get the trilogy, get the Prime Trilogy, 100%. It's if you didn't play it, I'll put it to you this way: if you go to the Halo subreddit and you start talking about Metroid Prime Trilogy or Metroid Prime at all, then like a lot of the people will be like, are going to start agreeing with how good you. If you start saying it's good, like everyone comes in there is like, no, I agree, it's amazing. You know, can't wait till Prime 4 comes out later this year, next year or whatever, which was supposedly going to come out 2 years ago, and then Miyamoto did his thing where he's like, it's not good, we're delaying it. He's like, it's not good yet, we're delaying it, because that famous Miyamoto quote, where if a game isn't good, it's not good forever, or something like that. My daughter is awake. Oh, I was supposed to get off like a while ago whenever I had that alarm go off. Oh well. I'll have to be better about that in the future, I guess. But I also need to get better at starting on time in the future as well, because that was definitely no good this morning. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that down to there. And but yeah, I highly suggest anyone who likes Halo should play Metroid Prime. If you like Halo and Zelda or Dark Souls, you should play Metroid Prime, because it's just Halo with lock-on. I mean, there's a lot of other differences. You're not picking up weapons, you're getting power-ups over time and stuff like that, but it's, the themes of the game are very similar, like visually, like artistically. Ancient alien species, predated Halo, of course, but ancient alien species, left behind, I mean, even the mantle of responsibility is basically, the Chozo chose, Samus Aran to inherit their civilization, essentially, and or rather to inherit all of their technology and become a guardian of it. So in a way, the Halo 4 brought Halo closer to the Prime series in more ways than, like, story-wise as well. Yeah, there's a lot of parallels between Halo 4 and the Prime series, which I don't especially necessarily even like those parallels. In Halo, like, there were changes, like the humans aren't the Forerunners anymore and all that kind of stuff that a lot of people are currently talking about. So there are things like that I didn't like in Halo 4, that I don't, and like the Prometheans, like I'm saying, it didn't work in Halo because there was no lock on. But yeah. Anyway, my kids are awake, so I do need to get off. This light is set up, but I either need to put horizontal slats for it, or I need to find a way to get that kind of texture on the actual block itself while also being emissive, which means I might have to use a different block. I also might have to scale out these slopes so that they come closer to the center. But yeah. Oh, I played Metroid. Let's see. I started making a Snow Beaver Creek. It's looking good, but it's looking a tad small. Infinite's movement makes it feel tiny. The floaty jumping makes it too easy to get around. Yeah, a lot of people are scaling up their maps. And I actually didn't think I was going to need to do that, and I don't think I'm going to need to do that with Waterworks. But then I realized, whenever I saw recently someone was talking about that, they were upscaling their version of the map. I forget what it was, like Sidewinder or something. And I was like, why are you doing that? Because the map is, you know, it shouldn't need to be too scaled up or anything like that. Then I realized that Waterworks specifically felt huge back in the day and felt like you had to walk for ages just to get to somewhere. Like, this feels right for the distance of this map. And I'm making it 1-to-1. But honestly, thinking back whenever playing it whenever Halo 2 released, it's probably the only map that I can think of that feels oversized. And now in Infinite feels right, which is kind of luck, because I didn't really think about that before I started making it. I just was like, I'm making a 1-to-1 version. I don't care. But like, Sidewinder is actually one of those that does feel a little too big as well, but it felt too big in Halo 1. And I think the movement speed was increased in Halo 2 by a little bit. And if I'm not mistaken, it's definitely increased now. And I don't know if it's I think that person who was making Sidewinder probably tested it and felt like they needed to increase the scale as well. But yeah. Anyway, the point is that, let me get a cool screenshot here for the thumbnail on YouTube whenever I get to it, because like the sunset up there above these bases looks really great, and I think that this isn't a good angle. I don't know. Maybe I can't get a good one from here. Maybe more like this, just like a good base. Anyway, the point is that that I think, I don't remember what I was saying, what my point was. I've gone way too many tangents. Lost track. Tight. Let's see, the only Big T battle maps that would need scaling would be things like Headlong / Terminal, right city maps. Yeah. I agree. Tight city maps is what you're trying to correct yourself on, yeah. Headlong and Terminal, tight city maps. I agree. Or, if instead of being scaled up, I think it'd be really cool if those kinds of maps just became part of a larger map. Like, expand the map, make it bigger, add more to it. Make that a segment, like a third of it or something, or maybe 2/3 of it. And then add some more to it. And if you expanded it out, like with, I think it was Headlong, you know, where that's the one with the broken bridge, right? That door that's closed there for that interstate, open that up, make it keep going that direction. Make the buildings have another side to it there. You know, try and like maybe wrap it around on one of the sides and make it sort of like a weird bean shape almost, or something like that, instead of like a circle. It's not really a circle, it's more of a square, or hexagon even. But if you did something like that, actually, were you the one working on it? Am I giving you direct advice on your map you were working on? I forgot if it was you who said that. I think it was. But I could be totally wrong. Spacing. But yeah, the point is that, yeah, and then that would make it to where you don't need to scale it up, and it would make a new variant. And then like you could close that off and make your 1-to-1 version, and then open it back up and make a modern version of the map or whatever. And you could even use ODST or Halo 2 as inspiration for what the geometry on the other side of that wall looks like. You could go and like find a spot in ODST that kind of looks similar and make it open right up onto the other side, and kind of use that to go off of. I scaled Rat's Nest down and made it more for 2v2, 4v4. You can always do things like that. Scale Big Team Battle down to maps, Hood Infinite, good Infinite 4v4 maps. Yes, exactly. That would work. You could also, honestly, some Big Team Battle maps just might work as a 4v4 map straight away without scaling at all in Infinite, but But only, yeah, sometimes. Oh man, I was talking so fast, I'm watching myself still move on the thing, doing the hand gestures of all my explanation of the headlong. And so I know where you're at, but for me, wow, that took like 30 whole seconds to catch up. Maybe just the normal 15 seconds, and I was just talking that fast. Um, but yeah, I think I got to get going though. I'm gonna see what you say about that, what I said about headlong, and then I'm gonna sign out. So you'll catch this right after, probably right after I see what you say. But yeah. Oh, I guess I can duplicate these lights while I'm still sticking around. This light needs to be exactly the same as the other one. So if I bring it over here and snap it to there, and then I scale this down. There we go. Because first you've got to see the message. I have a headlong blocked out, and I'm going to delete it. Good luck to anyone trying to make that map. Did you not like the way it was blocked out? Like, why'd you have to delete it? Did it just not work or something, or did you just feel like it just didn't it wasn't good enough for you, for your satisfaction? Okay, apparently there's like a lip overlap here. Okay, I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't happen over here, so I'm going to line all of these off that side now that I've scaled it to work. And then boom. And then I'll snap this one to here. And then I'm going to check what the other side looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty fine. I don't know why it was doing that a second ago. That was kind of weird. Alright, let me look up at those. Fell into the base. Let's see. Those look good. Kind of perfect, actually. Oh, I didn't select the... Oh, no, don't use mouse and keyboard over here. I forgot these pieces. So whenever I said perfect, I didn't really mean perfect. I meant still left out some pieces and needs to be adjusted. I meant incomplete and terrible. Where is my snapping gonna take place? Is that it? That is not it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yep, okay, that's it. If you have that headlong blocked out and you're gonna delete it anyway, you might find someone on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on like Reddit or something like that. Xbox sales this week are stinky. That's unfortunate. I was about to go, Aaron. So unfortunately, I think that's right whenever you got back. Yeah, if you've got that headlong map like already blocked out, and you don't feel like, you know, if you don't want to have wasted time like making it, then you might be able to find someone on like Reddit or someone else or somewhere else, maybe on YouTube, who will take your block out and start from there. And it's better than starting from scratch, even if they end up replacing the whole thing because they're going to beautify it or whatever, and bring it from a block out to a final. And even if they have to change a bunch of the stuff about scaling and stuff because they feel like they want to change stuff, it still is better to start from something. And that'll put your name into the credits of the map that they're making. So you'll still get credit for having built it out, for having built out the block out, you know? And so I would suggest doing that, just because then you don't feel like you've wasted your time. And anyone else who plays that map will potentially see your name in there. If they check the credits, they'll see your name in there, and that'll be cool. You could even potentially still keep it in your files, you know, and then have that other person just go off of your files or whatever. Because you can just give them the ability to edit it in every way except for admin privileges, and they can just build out the entire rest of the map for you. And I think that would be like, yeah, the two of you were a tag team, you built the beginning, they built the rest, and that would ensure that they don't remove you from it and potentially cause you to lose your credits, because I don't know if that's going to happen, but I don't know if that's how that works, but I think that you can remove people from the map. I mean, I know you can, but I don't know if you can actually remove credits from somebody. So this is looking really good. I'm going to make this, like I was saying before, on previous day, into a standalone base that you can just plop down. Like finish out this down like lower wall, potentially add a doorway to a room down here or something like that, and make it something you just plop into any map without having to be inside the cave. But for now, it's going to be this one that's built for the cave. I've been here, just not talking. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if you had left, and because you said you're going to be coming and going earlier, and I wasn't sure if you had been around at the time. But yeah, okay. So yes, I've got to get going. Obviously, said that like for 30 minutes now. Actually, probably an hour now. So I got to get going for real now. So I will catch you guys next time. I'll upload this one to YouTube in like 2 or 3 days. I don't remember how many days I'm behind on YouTube. But yeah, it'll be there. So if you are on YouTube and you want to catch it live, come over to Twitch. And like and subscribe. I'm supposed to do that stuff, but I never do it. Yeah. Anyway, catch you later.